Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and a very, very warm welcome to a very cool morning to our Bangladesh Volunteers House. Thank you for joining us. As you might be able to see, we've got a very established group of panelists here today. On my left is His Excellency Mr. Masood Manan, who is the current ambassador to Bangladesh in Berlin. After that, we have Mr. Thomas Wender. He's the professor of architecture at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and he will do a presentation on Bangladesh and how to master plan a city. And a former student of his is Brendan McNulty, who also worked in this program before, and they will work together for the presentation. As you guys may or may not know, Bangladesh is a country which lays in the Bay of Bengal on the west of India. It's a country which is not very well known in the Western world, and there's been a lot of different perceptions about the country itself. However, in 2005, 4 years after Goldman Sachs had introduced the concept of BRICS, the Brazil, India, Russia, and China being the next 4 major economies in the world, they came up with the concept of the next 11 economies, which would be including Bangladesh, as well as Indonesia, and a few other economies which will have a major impact on global markets. So we hope to have a very nice discussion today, and a very open discussion. So I would like His Excellency Mr. Masood to start the panel today. Thank you.
Thank you. At the beginning, I will like to make some presentations which I received from Dhaka, and then with your permission I will sit and share some ideas with you. The first one is actually from the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, the current Prime Minister of Bangladesh. The organizers, whom I thank from the core of my heart, Mr. Max, Mr. Vishant and others, they actually wanted to invite some of the leaders. You know, Bangladesh, especially now, is very busy with the parliament session and other things. Parliament has just concluded, but there are other follow-ups to do. The Honourable Ministers couldn't make it, but I requested the Honourable Prime Minister to send a message to this August occasion, and I'm going to read it now. The message is as follows. I am pleased to learn that International Seminar Columbus Symposium is meeting in Salzburg, Austria from 27 to 29 October 2010 to promote European investment abroad, including Bangladesh. I am also pleased that a Vision Bangladesh initiative is being organized by the Columbus Symposium, the Global Economic Network, and the Austrian Senate of Economics, with organizations in Bangladesh to attract investment, assist industrial growth, increase exports, and expand frontier market. Bangladesh is resource-rich with fertile land, coal reserves, and natural gas. It is a major producer of raw jute, tea, and leather, and possesses an emerging healthy industrial sector based on entrepreneurial ownership, efficient management, and competitive labor. The garment industry has particularly grown with increasing exports to Europe and North America. Shipbuilding is also growing speedily with European investment. To ensure growth, energy and infrastructure have been declared as priority sectors. For sustained power, new gas fields are being tapped, power plants established, and old ones revamped. Besides, communication is being improved with new roads, highways, railways, and waterways. Among major undertakings are the Padma Bridge and the 6-lane highway connecting Dhaka with Chittagong Port. These endeavors, in the backdrop of democracy, secularism, and the rule of law, promises a middle-income Bangladesh by the end of the decade. I would therefore urge the organizers and participants in the International Investment Seminar Columbus Symposium to join our national efforts by investing in Bangladesh. Let us work together hand in hand and profit and prosper. As we do so, we shall surely succeed in establishing a progressive digital Bangladesh, by 2021, on way towards achieving the ultimate goal of Sonar Bangla, as envisioned by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the nation. Signed by Sheikh Hasina, the Honorable Prime Minister. So this was a message which was requested by the organizer, and I wanted to share with you. Now, with your permission, I would like to share some other information on my country. As you all are aware, I have to give a brief background of Bangladesh, because many of you are not aware actually, as was introduced by the moderator, about Bangladesh as a totality. You know the name. And sometimes you associate the country that it might be a country which is still very poor, like it was in 1971, when we emerged as a sovereign independent country after losing 3 million people in 9 months. 3 million. And through a very, very bloody war of liberation. 3 million people lost their lives. And then you always see, like Maldives and some other unfortunate countries, that climate change has a very, very bad impact on Bangladesh. These are the things which you know. But beside that, there are many, many good things as well. And that's why I'm here to share those things with you. The number one thing is, maybe some of you know, many of you don't, that even when Europe is facing a financial crisis at present, Bangladesh is enjoying almost 6% financial growth even just now. Just now. As he said, we are within those 11 countries declared by Goldman Sachs. It's up to you to take it or not, but to be one of the developed countries soon and to do well in the coming decade. Bangladesh is also doing very well in the field of intellectual capability. In the last 100 years after Nobel Prize started, we got 3 Nobel Prizes already. First begin with literature in 1913, when a Bengali called Rabindranath Tagore he was the first to get Nobel Prize in Asia for literature in 1913 for Gitanjali. And he is the composer of both the national anthems of India and Bangladesh, Rabindranath Tagore. Then in 1998, a very famous economist who is a citizen of many countries now, but he is a Bengali like me. He comes from Bangladesh actually, but he's also an Indian citizen, an American, British, everything. Amartya Sen, Dr. Amartya Sen, very famous development economist. All of you know his name, a Harvard professor and many things. And then very, very, very recently in 2006, we were recognized for our success story in the field of microfinance, popularly known as microcredit. And Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who is a popular name in Europe and the West, he, along with his establishment, Grameen Bank, about which you have a seminar, I think tomorrow. There is a session on Grameen Bank or something. Maybe, or if not, maybe in future you will hold something. Dr. Yunus got recognition for his untiring effort in the field of microfinance, which is being used in many parts of the world, not only in Bangladesh, in the African continent, even in China. He got Nobel Prize for Peace because he brought out through his policy, successful implementation of his policy, people from abject poverty, especially the women. They become empowered, they took part in economic well-being of their family, and they are doing well now. You will be happy to know also that in 1971, 67% of our population of 70 million, when we got independence, were under poverty. Now we have 162 million people, but the total number of people under poverty has drastically gone down. It is only 40%. And we are doing good every day. The education, the literacy rate was only 26% in 1971. Now it is 67%. And very recently, our current Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was awarded for successful implementation of Millennium Development Goals only last month when she attended a UN session in New York. We are doing very well, like in curbing child mortality. the rate was up in the Indian subcontinent, but now in case of Bangladesh, we have done miracle. So you are seeing that these are the major goals of Millennium Development. Poverty reduction, literacy rate to go up, child mortality reduction, all these things. We are doing well with those. We are also the proud owner of the largest non-government organization in the world, which has even a bank and a university to its credit. It is called BRAC. And BRAC has its offices all over the world, even including war-torn Afghanistan. They are helping development work. BRAC is very famous. I just wanted to share some of the things with you so that you know that we are no more in 1971-72 situation when the country was devastated after losing so many lives and the economy was crippled because our banknotes were burned, bridge culverts were destroyed. You know, after war, this happens, but now we have come out of it. We are going to celebrate 50 years of independence in 2021, and that's why Honorable Prime Minister has taken up this vision 2021 that we celebrate our golden jubilee of independence, becoming a middle-income country, a mid-level developed country, when most of the people, if not 100%, are out of poverty, and Bangladesh, to achieve that target, has become digitalized using IT for education and business, everything, good governance. And finally, we remember with deep respect the people who laid down their lives and the people who became victims of the war. We respect their dream. Three things: the freedom fighters, we respect their dreams of turning Bangladesh into a developed country. So these are the things. We want to come out of poverty, we want to have digitalization, and we want to always remain indebted to the founders of the country, the freedom fighters. These are the main three elements of the Vision 2021, which has been declared by the new government of Sheikh Hasina. Now I want to talk about investment, which is actually your target today, and also share with you what we have achieved in the last 38 years in this particular field. Did you even think that Bangladesh is now exporting, manufacturing and exporting sea-going or ocean-going vessels to countries like Germany and Denmark? We've already supplied 4 ships to Denmark in the last 5 years, and now we are processing 30 ships, manufacturing 30 ships to be supplied to Germany, to Hamburg to be in specific. 12 are on their way, actually, they have been already manufactured, 18 more are coming. But our main business still today is in the field of ready-made garments and knitwear. We are the 6th largest producer in the whole world. And our traditional business is in the field of jute, leather, and tea. We supply the tea market. Many people think those tea which comes from South Asia, most of it comes from India and Sri Lanka. It's not totally correct. A large quantity comes from Bangladesh. Actually, companies like James Finlay, Duncan Brothers, these are actually British companies, they actually import the tea, and then they do the packaging, maybe in Britain and other places, and then sell it to the world. So it is difficult for you to know from where they are getting their supply. Is it only from India or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh? Actually, it is from 3 of the countries which were all together India only 70 years back. Now there are 7 countries out of the former British India. So that is one thing. And you will ask me, what will be the incentive to maybe invest in your country, in the fields that you have just mentioned, or the new fields, like in the IT sector, like in the pharmaceutical sectors, like in the ceramics, Chinaware, many things are developing, even pearl, the natural pearl, we call pink pearl. If you want to, say, invest, what will be the incentive? Let me just share with you. The major fiscal incentives will be tax holiday, accelerated depreciation allowance instead of tax holiday, if somebody wants to prefer that, concessionary income tax,